Hey guys, Chapter 1, Section 4 video here, if you're following along in the same textbooks as us in class. And big essential question of this video is how can I multiply integers? So we are working on multiplying positive and negative numbers, but we're going to get into it a little bit of a different way today. We're going to talk about exponents, because exponents is another way of multiplying. This is an example of an exponent, 4 to the third power. Now this is like a shortcut way of writing out that we want to multiply 4 3 times. So we call that little 3 the power, or the exponent. Either word works. But what we're really doing is we're doing 4 times 4 times 4. So like I said, it's a shortcut for writing that. Now 4 times 4 times 4 kind of has to go in steps. I know 4 times 4 is 16, but multiply that by another 4 and you get 64. So the answer is 64. 4 to the third power is 64. But we're going to be doing that with negative numbers today. So let's try an example that involves some negatives. Let's say you had this, parenthesis, negative 2 to the third power. Now that parenthesis is going to be very important because what it means is the whole entire negative 2 is to the third power, meaning that we have 3 of them, negative 2, negative 2, negative 2. So now we go in steps. We're going to do the 2 times 2 is 4. But remember the match.com rule? A negative and a negative is a match. That's a good thing. That's a positive 4. And then we're going to bring down the third negative 2 and we're going to multiply it. This is not a match. This is a positive and a negative. This is not good. This is going to be a negative 8. So our solution is negative 8. Negative 2 to the third power is negative 8. All right. Let's try another one. This one's going to look a little different. It's going to look like this. What's different about this problem compared to the last example? Notice there's no parenthesis. Okay, well, there's a reason for that. Negative 5 to the second power, if there's no parenthesis, means this. It means the negative is on the outside, and it's just 5 times 5. See the difference between example 1 and example 2? It's actually a big difference. 5 times 5 is 25. It's a nice match. But there's that negative sign that's sitting on the outside, so the answer is going to be a negative 25. All right, so your turn. You're going to try. I'm going to give you 4 questions, A, B, C, D. You're going to copy each question into your notebook. You're going to hit the pause button on your device, and you're going to see how many of these you can do correctly. Good luck. Hit that pause button now. Alright guys, you're unpausing the video, you're ready to check some solutions. We're going to go through each and every one of these, starting with letter A. Negative 3 squared, or negative 3 to the second power. Well, it's in a parenthesis, so that means we're going to do negative 3 times a negative 3. And 3 times 3 is 9, and negative negative is a great match. It's positive, so it's a positive 9 answer. Alright, let's do the next one. Negative 1 to the third power. Well, with the parenthesis, that means negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1. So we'll do the first 1 times 1, which is a match, negative negative, so that's great. That's a positive 1. But then we'll do the last negative 1. We'll multiply it. Oh, that's not a match. That's a positive negative, so we're back to negative 1, and that is our solution. Look at letter C, though. Letter C does not have a parenthesis, so what does it mean, 7 to the second power? Well, it means the negative's on the outside. It means 7 times 7 is 49, but with the negative on the outside, it goes back into being a negative 49 for your solution. And then the last one, letter D, there's no parenthesis, so that means the negative is on the outside, and it's 6 times 6 times 6. Well, 6 times 6 is 36. Multiply that by another 6, and you get an answer of 216, but there's a negative on the outside, so it's a negative 216. Really pay attention to the difference between a parenthesis problem and no parentheses. There's actually a big difference. It makes a difference. How many times can I say difference in this video? It's important. So I'm going to circle all my answers, and I want you to check your work and see how you did. And I want you to kind of wrap up this video by writing one more note about the integer rules. So we're going to make a little T-chart here for a moment of what do we know about positive and negative numbers, because we kind of have a lot of rules going on now. If we are adding positive and negative numbers, do you remember what the rule is? It's our little chant. Same signs, add and keep, different signs subtract. Same signs, add and keep, different signs subtract. So if they're the same signs, we add them and keep the sign. And if they're different signs, we subtract them. That's our adding rule. What is our rule for subtracting positive and negative numbers? Well, we like to nickname it the KCC, the keep, change rule. We turn it back into an adding rule so that we can use the adding rules. So KCC, keep, change. What are our multiplying rules, our newest rules that we can add to our list? Well, I like to call them the match.com rules. Matching is positive and a no match, opposites are negative. All right, so just wrapping up our video here, I hope you guys kind of followed along with exponents and powers, and I hope you're really getting those integer rules inside your head so that you can multiply, add, subtract positive, negative numbers easily on your own. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.